the difference between a Canadian investing in the US versus a US person investing in Canada. Like, aren't there some weird rules there that are kind of unfair?
And people don't. So I've been asked this question by like every Canadian developer and real estate investor, like, hey, how can I get some of that US cash up here?
Yeah.
The answer is basically no. And I'll tell you why. And this, I try to figure this out. So it turns out through the original NAFTA USMCA agreement, so as a venture capital investor, I can invest in a startup in Quebec and not pay any taxes. In Canada, so I'm a US investor. I invested in the startup. It's technology.
Right.
There's a category called immovable assets in these agreements. So anything that's immovable, like real estate, land, or timber, we can invest in Canada and get a tax waiver. So what that means is if it's, let's say I buy a house or a commercial property in Toronto, I have to pay taxes once in Canada and then again back in the US. That's double tax.
Right.
So it's not tenable.
Is that the same situation for the Canadian investing in the US?
No. So the Canadian can invest in the US, and in the US, you're granted kind of like, we'll call it equivalency. So you have to pay US withholding tax, not a tax advisor, by the way. And then you claim that tax you paid in Canada, I think it's like 15% or 18%. Then on your is it T4 or something? In Canada, you claim like, hey, I paid 15% in the US as a credit.
Right. Okay.
There's just like a lot of misinformation out there, and all the tax people I spoke with confused the heck out of me too. I was told that I couldn't invest in Canadian startups.
Right.
Then it turned out it was like totally not true.
Okay.
I can.
Well, that's at least something. But
yeah. Sorry, all the other founders I've ran into in like Montreal and Toronto. I told them like I couldn't for tax reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Turns out that wasn't true.
Right. Interesting. But so basically, as it relates to real estate, US people are kind of double taxed. Canadians are not. If you had to really simplify.
There's an asterisk to that. If you are a mega private equity firm like Blackstone or TBG, there's this like strategy they use where they spend millions of dollars doing this and they can like pay a lot less. Which is why no, there's like a way they do it. I don't know how it works. But I think I was told you have to justify investing like 500 million US to justify the cost.
Wow. Okay.
Which is why you see Blackstone and like the big guys up here.